Thank you for joining me. Take a deep breath. Drop into the sacred space of this moment. You are entering a new dimension of understanding, a revolutionary lens through which the twin flame journey reveals its true essence. We do not reject the ego here. We cultivate it. We do not bypass the pain. We transmute it. This is the Eight of Cups, the sacred goodbye, the twin flame journey of sovereignty. You are here because something within you has already left. And maybe you're not just now catching up to the part of yourself that walked away long ago. The Eight of Cups is not an exit. It is a return. But not a return to a person. Not to the past, not even to a dream. It is the return of the sacred self, where your soul knows what your mind has been afraid to admit. This card arrives like a hush after a storm, like the moment you realize your heart can't survive another loop of compromise. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's sovereign. It's when love no longer means staying, and will becomes the path of soul liberation. In the twin flame journey, the Eight of Cups represents the timeline where you finally stop orbiting someone else's awakening. You walk away not to punish, not to escape, but because your inner temple has been calling you home. This is the moment you stop bleeding for connection and begin embodying devotion to your own spirit. The shadow work of the Eight of Cups is subtle but deep. It asks, what are you still emotionally invested in that no longer serves your expansion? Where have you romanticized suffering and called it love? Which part of you believes walking away is failure when it's actually your rebirth? This card activates the part of us that has been trained to endear, especially within distorted feminine energy. Can I get a deep breath? To stay, to prove our worth, to fix what was no longer and never ours to hold. But here, we rewire that narrative. Here, walking away is not abandonment. It is divine will finally aligning with true love, the love of self. Astrologically, the Eight of Cups resonates with Saturn and Pisces, the discipline of spiritual boundaries. Saturn teaches structure. Pisces dissolves. Together, this combination is about learning to say no to energetic merging that depletes us. It is walking away from the illusion of unity when it lacks truth, integrity, and balance. From a zodiacal lens, this card carries the emotional intelligence of Scorpio, the release of Pisces, and the sovereignty of Capricorn. Scorpio asks for transformation. Pisces invites surrender. And Capricorn demands self-respect. The blend. It's the moment when you realize that your healing is more sacred than being understood. Let's talk about the masculine and feminine polarities here. The distorted feminine clings. She overgives. She waits. The distorted masculine avoids, withholds, disappears. But when the Eight of Cups is integrated, both sides come into harmony. The masculine within you takes aligned action to walk away. The feminine within you says yes to the grief of letting go. Together, they become the divine lovers inside your own heart, honoring the space required for true union. Love and will, this is where they collide. Love says, but I feel the connection. Will says, but I must choose myself. And here's the key to the Eight of Cups. They are not in conflict. They are an initiation. Because when love becomes a prison, will must become the key. When love becomes sacrifice without return, will becomes the fire that leads you back into your power. This is the place where we stop suppressing the ego and begin proclaiming it. I matter. My feelings are valid. My dreams are worth pursuing, even if it means I walk alone. This is not a message of permanent separation. This is a message of energetic clarity, because separation was never the problem. It's the illusion that merging without integrity was union. The twin flame mirror is especially potent here. The person you are walking away from may not even realize it's happening, because you've left energetically long before the 3D catches up. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop. You just become. You become the version of yourself that no longer needs someone to wake up in order for you to rise. And that is the reunion energy, not with them, but with you. And when that happens, when you are no longer emotionally invested in their version of you, but anchored in your own truth, you make space for higher octave of union to occur. One that is rooted in freedom, not fear, in sovereignty, not sacrifice. In shadow work, we often talk about wounds of abandonment. But what if the abandonment is actually the self? What if walking away is the soul repairing its deepest fracture? The Eight of Cups is the walk of no return. Not because you won't see them again, but because you can never again abandon yourself for love. If your journey in this energy reflects walking away from spiritual bypassing, from communities, mentors, or systems that subtly conditioned you to suppress your voice, to betray your instincts in order to ascend. Ascension is not escape. It is full embodiment of truth, no matter how inconvenient it may seem. This transmission also calls forward the queen within you. Whether you identify as masculine, feminine, or both, the queen knows when to speak, but she also knows when to turn and walk away with grace. Not out of bitterness, but because her altar is too sacred to be desecrated by energetic crumbs. You may feel grief, you may feel loss. Let it come. Let it flood through. You're not weak for feeling it. You're wise for choosing your wholeness anyway. Can I get a deep breath? This is the divine reclamation. This is the exit from distortion. This is not closure. It's an opening. Opening to a version of you who doesn't negotiate with your worth. Opening to timelines where your inner masculine and feminine both bow at the altar of your soul's truth. Opening to the gift of ego, not as pride, but as the sacred self-value that says, I am no longer available for less than what I give. You are not leaving love. You are choosing real love. And that begins with you. So let's take a deep breath together. Through your masculine, through your feminine. Feel the power in your spine. Feel the courage in your chest. And whisper with me. I walk away with love. I return with truth. I belong to no one. I belong to myself. Take a deep breath. Your sovereignty is the portal to union, and it starts now. Love and light.